Hello and welcome to Aztecs All In, the podcast that goes all in on San Diego State sports. I'm Louis Weiner along with Steve Perez. We are two longtime Aztec alums who have vast amount of experience in San Diego media. In today's episode, the Mountain West Conference Executive Committee finally makes a decision about San Diego State's future in the conference, and Commissioner Gloria Nevarez talked all about it at Mountain West Conference Media Days. We'll also get reaction from Coach Brady Hoke on the conference mess, along with two other players, and Coach Hoke will also talk about Ryan Lindley, the offensive coordinator, and his relationship with quarterback Jalen Maiden. But first, let's say hello to Steve. How are you?
Doing well, thanks, Louis. Aztecs All In did make the quick jaunt to Las Vegas and the annual Mountain West Football Media Days gathering at circa July 19th and 20th. Grateful for the access to this event by the Mountain West, and special thanks also to the San Diego State University Aztecs. And very special thanks up top also to Kirk Kenny of the San Diego Union Tribune. Just because.
It appears Lettergate involving the Mountain West Conference and San Diego State is finally over. Right, Steve?
That's right, Louis. Mountain West Commissioner Gloria Nevarez making it official in her opening State of the Conference address, and during a Q&A from the podium afterward.
I'm proud to report that earlier this week, we came to a resolution, and San Diego State will continue to be a member in good standing to the 23-24 season. As you can appreciate, I'm not going to be commenting on the deliberations of the board or the details of the resolution. Suffice it to say, I feel like we landed in a very, very good spot, and we're very much looking forward to moving forward with San Diego State. The landscape's changing day to day, which is why I just mentioned 23-24, because nobody knows what the future looks like. A lot of media deals need to come to fruition. We are better with San Diego State in the league, and I am really feeling good about where we landed.
You'll remember this all started when San Diego State sent a letter to the Mountain West Conference saying it intended to resign from the conference and asked for a month extension before a $17 million exit fee would have to be paid. Well, of course, the Mountain West accepted that as a resignation letter from San Diego State, and San Diego State says that's not what it was.
And I'm afraid I'm going to have to stop you right there, partner. Commissioner was not interested in going through the who wrote, who, what, when, how, and why for the media. Also, hat tip to the commissioner for teaching me something. The proper pronunciation of the word machinations. As in, I'm not going to go through all the behind-the-scenes machinations.
But I really feel good about where we are as a league, and keeping San Diego State for this year, and even if it's another year, that's just good for the Mountain West. We know we're better with them in the league, but we know that each of them are on their own campus having to look out for their best interest. Look what we did for TCU. Look what we did for Utah. They came in at the bottom of the league. So did San Diego State. They came in at the bottom of the league, and we offer a platform that helps not only develop schools, but think about most of our board of directors are first time in the chair, most of our athletic directors are first time in the chair, coaches. If that's who we are, let's be the best at it. As long as you're in the middle of the ecosystem, your top is going to have aspirations. And let's be okay with that, and let's be prepared to constantly look at the environment, backfill, and have our halo effect help bring up other schools. And so, again, it's a new phenomenon in college athletics that people have so much mobility, but I don't think it's a bad one. I'm a traditionalist, but I don't think it's one that we can't, as Mountain West, lean into and embrace.
Can you talk or discuss the relationship between the university at this point, and then prior to when everybody was all excited about a national run, and then also bring that to the conference and what any takeaway other schools can have and view the situation?
Well, conference realignment is a shifting landscape, and I think it's the job of the schools, the presidents and the athletic directors to look out for their best interests, and it's my job to look out for the conference's best interests. Many times those jobs align, sometimes they don't, and I think that's what our policies were enacted to do, and I think we worked through the process as it was intended to work out and protect the conference, but also in this situation, fortunately for us, allowed a school to come back to us when they didn't have an invite.
And as far as other schools, as a learning experience or something that sheds light on their relationship, with the conference.
I think behind the scenes, every school's thinking about, when we look at our policies, when we think about how we're handling this, how might this affect us if we're ever in that situation? And by and large, I thought our ADs and presidents felt our policies were fair.
There's also people and personalities involved. So, how was all?
Yeah,
How was all that?
I have the ultimate respect for President De La Torre and Athletic Director J.D. Wicker. I worked to really keep open communications. We talked every step of the way. And, I feel good about the respectful way this was handled and the conclusion we came to.
So Mountain West Conference Media Days supposed to be about football. But of course, the San Diego State players were asked about the conference situation and how it's affecting them. And of course, their focus should be on football, and apparently it is, although there might be some sort of distraction. But Aztecs All In talked to Mark Redmond and safety Cedarius Barfield about what they think about how the conference situation is affecting them and the team.
Going in, kind of just looking to win 22, as we said, to win a Mountain West championship. So that's something that we kind of stay away from. When you're thinking about all these other conferences and realignment and stuff like that, you have to win. The biggest thing is to win. So these guys know that we're kind of focused on this year and just to, like I said before, win the championship.
You just said it doesn't really affect us this year, and that's kind of what we're focused on, is the Mountain West this year and winning that 22nd championship. So that's what we're all about. You can look ahead into the future, a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever it is, whether that's still the Pac-12 or Mountain West, whatever it is. For us, we're just focused about this year and win the Mountain West championship. It's kind of funny. Like a year ago, they said, in a week we're going to announce we're in the Pac-12. So, it's been an ongoing thing where we thought a year ago it was going to be announced. We thought a month or two it was going to be announced. So at this point, whenever someone kind of asks about it, you're just like, you don't really know. We're in the dark kind of like you guys are. It comes and goes from now to then, but we're just worried about this year and the whole Mountain West championship. So we're just trying to win it this year.
Head coach Brady Hoke anxious to focus on getting his team prepared to meet up with Ohio University. Never mind everyone else on the schedule. His response to the Mountain West and realignment questions? Boy, what a great job the folks higher up the ladder are doing dealing with all of this.
J.D. Wicker and our president, Adela, they do a great job in the leadership of where we are, and they're always going to, what's best for San Diego State. And I appreciate that. But as far as how much we knew, we didn't know very much. Part of that is, our jobs are different. That's not my job to get into conference realignment, and my job's to, help develop young men, help develop a really good football team, and that's what we've done. Talking with, JD, there wasn't a whole lot of information that we were sharing with anybody. The only thing I would discuss is when it came out in the papers. And just say, hey, I have no idea. My job is not to talk contracts and do those kind of things and conference realignment and all that. My job's to help develop those guys to be the best football team we can be.
So one of the more interesting things about this San Diego State team is that Brady Hoke, the coach, has an offensive coordinator who played under him when he was with San Diego State the first time. So Brady Hoke's experience with offensive coordinator Ryan Lindley is an interesting one. So we got the chance to ask Coach Hoke about his relationship with Coach Lindley and also about the progress of Jalen Maiden. Remember, he started as a safety last year and then played quarterback and played pretty well most of the season, but did not play particularly well in the bowl game. So Coach Hoke is talking about Ryan Lindley and Jalen Maiden.
He was a real great guy to coach, when we were able to do that when we were the first time around. And just his growth has been really neat, as a coach, and you start having guys on your staff who you've coached. It's gratifying, and it's gratifying to see what he's done and how he handles things. I think is it's really good for us, and it's good for what we want to do offensively. Well, I like his development, and I like the fact that, he came over during the middle of the first third of the season. And I think his growth has been really good. I think, there's things obviously that we got to do a better job with, and he's got to do a better job with. But I think that relationship that Ryan has, I think you go back and, as a player, I think some of the guys, and I talk about, Ryan Lindley's the leading passing yards leader at San Diego State. If I'm a quarterback and that we're recruiting or on our team, I'd want to listen a little bit because obviously he knows, he's been in the battles, and he knows what to do.
All right, switching gears just a bit, we're going to talk Aztec hoops with Mr. Barfield, the Aztec senior safety. As it turns out, he knows the players well and views their success during March Madness as inspiration, as well as that of other Aztec sports. He feels like the football team is doing the work and ready to go.
When we first come in our freshman year, we're all kind of together in like this one little class in the summer, so we just build these relationships and we're very close. And so, it just builds on from there. And so just seeing the success that they've been having these past 3 to 5 years in general of being top 10 in the country, and during COVID year when they were like undefeated, almost like they were ranked number 2, it's just a great thing just for the school in general and for the Mountain West.
They set the bar pretty high. Is there any kind of, talking amongst yourselves about, hey, okay, this is what we've done, what are you going to do?
Oh, most definitely, because they've won the regular season championship, they won the tournament championship, and so of course it's one of those things like, we're seeing just not even just basketball in general, but we're seeing swim, we're seeing baseball, we're seeing track and field, we're seeing all these different sports winning the championship, and I'm like, man, we have to get one ourselves.
So you feel any pressure about that, or is it just a challenge?
Honestly, it's not even really pressure. Like everyone says, pressure makes diamonds, and that's just something that we're taught just to be competitive, and that's one thing that we kind of, it's not like we have to win the championship. It's one of those things that like we feel like we can, and that's something we want to go in day in and day out during practice and just work towards that.
Because in the end, everybody has to just do the work and the results on the field and take care of themselves. As they were referencing the Fresno State game, the game can be funny.
Exactly, like you said, some things just work out, and you need luck on your hands sometimes. But yeah, I feel like we're ready to go.
On offense, tight end Mark Redmond must double as a receiver and a blocker in the Aztecs' ball control offense. So he's pretty dialed in on what's going on with the offensive line. The Aztecs lost starting guard Josh Simmons, a Helix High grad, to Ohio State via the transfer portal, but Redmond's looking for big things from the rest of the group, and that includes himself.
A good amount of guys returning, 3 guys on our offensive line returning, and a lot of people say that they're a little bit skeptical about that, but we got BCD, Brennan, Cade Bennett, was just named to the first team, Ross, all the guys, Tom Mirabella, Dean Abdullah, so I'm not really that concerned about it. We've been through it a couple times in spring training and stuff like that, and I know what they can do and what they're capable of, and especially with Coach Goff underneath them. It definitely gives us a good baseline to start at. There's a couple things that were throwing our team off last year, and had a couple changes, but now under Ryan Lindley, he's got a good year under his belt. He knows what he's doing. We're all backing him. We're really confident in what he can do and how he can work with Jalen Maiden and just our whole offense together. So with that confidence that we have going into this year, I'm not worried about that.
You're an offensive lineman as well, right? So what's your role in that part of the offense?
Absolutely. So that's the fun part about being a tight end. You can play the O-line. You can also play the receiver position, and we take that with a grain of salt. We just love doing both because you can get your hands dirty in the run game, and then you can also go out and catch the passes. So it's fun to work with those people and work with Coach Goff, Coach Savai, and Coach Krause. You can do it all, and you got to be a jack of all trades is what we said.
We'll hear more from Aztecs head coach Brady Hoke and hopefully more players on future editions of Aztecs All In. Getting closer and closer to their opening game Saturday, August 26th, Ohio U. Mountain West media projected them with a 4th-place conference finish, but quite certain Brady Hoke and the Aztecs team have other ideas. You can find an Aztecs All-In take on the MWC SDSU institutional rhubarb in the sports section of the Times of San Diego at timesofsandiego.com. Former Aztec Xander Schauffele finished in a 3-way tie for 17th at the Open. And good on Georgia Bulldog Brian Harmon for an impressive win to hoist the claret jug. To correct something from last week, former Aztec J.J. Spawn did not qualify for the Open, and that's what you get for going with stuff on the interwebs. We will take another chance here and say he appears to have finished in the money at the PGA Tour's Barracuda Championship at Tahoe Mountain Club. JJ in a 7-way tie for the 10th spot, according to PGAtour.com. Follow us on Twitter at Aztecs_all_in. Are we supposed to be saying follow us on the X now? Anyways, you can also send us hate mail and fan letters at aztecsallin@gmail.com. Steve Perez for Louis Weiner saying, thanks for stopping by. Talk to you soon.